We take our first run over these little hills on the far side of the course. Then it's a rundown onto the flat yet again. A few twists and turns along the way, heading back towards the pits for the second time. Once we're through the pits with a clean bike, it's over the bridge and back down into the finish line. 3.15 kilometers of each lap. We're coming up to the race start. This race was first run in 2016, won by Evie Richards of Great Britain. She's won it twice in its 4-year history. Richards now riding at elite level. We saw her yesterday in the women's elite race. This is our commissaires panel. Mix of nationalities, they decide how the rules are adhered to. The rain is still falling. Here's the rundown of the start list, the 30 riders who will take to this race start, headed by number 1 there, Inge van der Heijden, the world champion of last year. She comes back to defend her title. But as I said at the beginning, this is a very, very open race. Trying to choose who the winner is going to be is a lot more complex than the other races that we've seen so far. They've been out-and-out favourites in the other races. Well, the crowd are enduring the pouring rain. We're hoping that some storms that are predicted do not hit Dubendorf in the next hour. Predicted to go from a calm and very okay, slightly rainy conditions to 70-kilometre-an-hour winds and a real storm. If that happens, then there could be any sorts of decisions that have to be taken. But last night we saw winds suddenly pick up. Katie Klaus on the front row of the grid for the United States of America. Alongside her, Cheska Baroni of Italy. This is the world champion of last year, back to defend her title, 20 years of age. Inge van der Heijden of the Netherlands. Alongside her, Manon Bakker, 5th in the European Championships. This rider, I think, is one who could surprise everybody. Blanka Vas of Hungary. Anna Kay of Great Britain, the rider who led the Under-23 World Cup this season. Next rider on the grid is Marian Noble of France, who many analysts think could win this race. And then it's Annick van Alphen of the Netherlands. 30 seconds until we get underway. Big deep breaths. Marian Noble of France is normally the fastest starter here. She also likes a bit of bumping and barging when it comes to the start as well. They're underway. Who's going to get the best start? Anna Kay does not have a good start for Great Britain. That was a very tentative start from the British rider. Inge van der Heijden and Katie Klaus going shoulder to shoulder. Blanka Vas on the inside from Hungary. She's going to take the inside line, and a really strong move from the Swiss rider on the outside going through to take the lead. Obviously motivated by seeing already Switzerland take a medal in these championships. Katja Blanka Vas then at the front in the red and green. She is a rider who many people have missed as a possible winner of this race. Harriet Honden of Great Britain doesn't get a good start either. But Blanka Vas then at the front. She hasn't ridden the World Cups this season. She rode one of them, but she's ridden many cyclocross, and she has very much shown in the results. Naomi Rugg of Switzerland is up there. Anna Kay, the diminutive figure of a powerful bike rider, trying to make her way through. Now she's getting going. And the race is being led at the moment by these two riders. Katie Klaus of the United States of America, the national champion. dislocated her shoulder in a terrible crash in Namur. But she's been training well in Spain, had a good training camp. She rode Nome and Hügelheide in the World Cup to try and come back into form ahead of these World Championships. Very, very focused for these championships, Katie Klaus. And we can see that by the start she's made, opening up a little bit of an advantage. Van der Heijden trying to close the gap. Good start then by the American rider. In fact, it's Manon Bakker who's up there in second place, who's trying to close the gap. Inge van der Heijden just a little bit further back. Marian Noble Ribeirol, the French rider, in third place, followed by Blanca Vass. Down the drop-off by Katie Klaus, leading for the USA, the same way as Magnus Sheffield did earlier on today. Klaus, Bakker going to the front. The Dutch are on such good form. Anna Kay now making her way through the field. Good to see her, having recovered from the start of the season. She had an amazing start. She led the Under-23 World Cup. She was right up in the top 3 in the Elite World Cup. And then she started to suffer, had almost hypothermia in Namur. 4 riders emerging at the front, but it's still not a definite breakaway. Manon Bakker trying to push the pace on a little bit. Bakker is guided by Helen Wyman, the British rider, as the riders decide not to take to the pits on the first time. So it's Bakker, Norbert Ribeirol, Katie Klaus, Blanca Vass, Inge van der Heijden. On the wheel of Inge van der Heijden is Anna Kay. Ruby West is up there for Canada. Good start to this race as riders just try and settle into their rhythm. I think you've got to be in that front group of 7 riders. Otherwise, I think this championship may well go away. It's very, very tough on the legs, this championship, but there's so much little bits of climbing they've added in with these bridges, particularly this run-up, which really does start to hurt the legs. When you're riding the elite championships of the World Cups, then you'll have the stamina to get through this race, and then it's all about the power and the distribution of power over the course of this race. Gap's starting to open up. Manon Bakker really going out well. Haven't seen her at the front of too many cyclocrosses this season. And Norbert Ribeirol in second place, looking really strong. And then it's this gap back to Blanca Vass. She finished third in St. Nicholas just before Christmas, behind Sanne Kant, the then world champion. She finished second in Essen in the Eco-Cross, behind Marianne Vos and ahead of Anna Kay. Anna Kay looks to be just taking her time here to get herself through the field. Have a best of starts, but the rider who really is in the ascendancy now is Ruby West of Canada. Big drop off there. You've got to get this one right. A few riders a bit tentative. Inge van der Heijden not enjoying that drop off at all. So the current world champion, the rider who's defending her title, just looking a little bit like she's not too impressed with the drop-offs. Taking it much more gingerly than you would expect her to. As Norbert Ribeirol starts to open up a bit of an advantage. Many people think this is the rider who can win here. She loves the mud. French champion Norbert Ribeirol, 21 years of age. Ruby West riding really strongly. Katie Klaus, having started well, is starting to drop back a little bit. Anna Kay runs up this section there in the white and blue of Great Britain. Ribeirol running round this section. They've decided that this is a section you need to run now. This was rideable before. Anna Kay looks like she's going to decide to ride it. No, she gets off too. Clearly it's getting so muddy that your running is now going to be paramount on this course. The top riders then, Marian Noble, Manon Bakker, Ruby West of Canada, Katie Klaus, USA, Anna Kay, Great Britain, Inge van der Heijden of the Netherlands, then Blanka Vas of Hungary. Thanks for all your messages. Sean Mooney, hello to you. Dave IH, thank you very much. And Andy Jerry, thanks for watching too. Anna Kay shoulders the bike, just trying to recover here. Get a little bit of a breath, and you've got this little run up the next section. Marian Noble not opening up too much of a gap, gets that little drop off nicely done. 4 seconds her advantage to Manon. Oh, Manon Bakker crashes. Ruby West rides that well. So does Anna Kay. Katie Klaus gets that right as well. Blanka Vas leans over, just gets it a little bit wrong. Inge van der Heijden's having to run down every one of these hills at the moment. You've got to be powerful, but you've also got to take calculated risks at this moment. And Norbert Ribeiro is riding away just with power at the moment in this mud. It's a proper trudge. We've been waiting for the mud to arrive like this. Sven Nys said it would be a proper mud cross this afternoon when he predicted it about 4 days ago. And it's absolutely right. So the French rider looking strong. No French rider has been on the podium yet in the under-23 Women's World Championship. Evie Richards won the first year ahead of Noskova and Maud Kapteins. Second year was Anna-Marie Verst, who finished second yesterday in the women's race. Marian Noble of the USA was second. Evie Richards of Great Britain was third. Richards won again in 2018 ahead of the world champion from yesterday, winning the women's race, Celine Del Carmen Alvarado. And Nadia Heigl was in third. And last year, it was Inge van der Heijden, Fleur Nagengast, and again, Celine Del Carmen Alvarado in third place. So Marian Noble Ribeiro is riding away. She looks really strong at the moment. Just using all that power that she's got to just power her way through the mud. 21 years of age. At the moment she's growing this advantage, now 15 seconds. Rides for a team the same as Manon Bakker. Coming to a little bit of a standstill. Katie Klaus and Anna Kay. Marian Noble Ribeiro getting a little bit of instruction from her coach there at the side of the track. Rides for the Experza Pro team, the same team as Anna Kay, same as Manon Bakker. The last few weeks, she won the French Championship. She goes into the pits now. That's going to lose her just a little bit of time. She looks concentrated. She looks ready. Ruby West of Canada producing a really strong performance here as Norbert Ribeiro goes out, still with her lead intact. Anna Kay's dropping back a little bit here for Great Britain. Ruby West being followed by Inge van der Heijden, then Blanka Vas. Manon Bakker starting to drop away. Katie Klaus trying to get past Anna Kay at the moment. coming up to the end of lap number 1. Such a hard lap. Just relaxing into this effort now, trying to calm down. 11 minutes and 26 seconds for that lap. That was an average speed of 16.5 kilometers an hour. This course is so sticky, so hard, so difficult. Second place, 17 seconds now. The next group of riders with Katie Klaus and Anna Kay. 31 seconds down already. Then it's Harriet Honden of Great Britain, the national champion of Great Britain, alongside Cheska Baroni. And then it's Naomi Rugg. Norbert Ribeiro looking across to see where everyone is. So she's got her wits about her as she gets onto the stairs. As she goes over the top of the steps, the other riders are still approaching them. Van der Heijden putting in a good defense of her world title at the moment. She's still there. Ribeiro seems to have a lot of horsepower, doesn't she? Look at the speed as she just churns her way through the mud, constantly looking across the course, trying to see what sort of advantage she's got. In her build-up to these World Championships, Ribeiro had a 22nd place in Hoogerheide in the Elite World Cup, so that's against the elite riders we saw yesterday. She finished 10th in Nome. She won the French Championship back on the 12th of January. She finished 6th in Brendine in one of the cyclocrosses there. Just see how muddy it is. But previously, early on in the season, she had some really strong performances. European Championship, she was bronze medalist. She's probably looked at this course and thought, this is absolutely perfect for me. Rides a little bit on the road, but not too much, as Ruby West of Canada goes clear of the next group on the track. Inge van der Heijden suffering at the moment. Having said she's putting in a good defense at the moment, she's starting to drop away a little bit. Anna Kay has been training well, getting ready for these championships. Had a couple of training camps just to get set. Anna Kay guided also by Helen Wyman. Ruby West of Canada at this moment in time is the maybe a bit of a surprise package in this front group. Oh, Inge van der Heijden had a little crash. That's what the hold-up was. Into the pits for Norbert Ribeiro. Her pit crew really busy this afternoon. Norbert Ribeiro safely on a new bike. Ruby West coming in now. Her pit crew are ready for her bike change. Changes safely, gets out. Mechanics working hard on these bikes, trying to make sure everything is clean and ready. Anna Kay comes in as well, having to change bikes so often now. Inge van der Heijden, after that crash, is back on her bike. Ruby West last year was 19th, I think, in the World Championships. So this is a very strong performance by her. Great to see the Canadian cyclocrosser up here in second place. onto this run-up. Marian Noble almost climbing her way up there. Needs her crampons on her shoes. It's so steep and so slippy now. Ruby West having a challenging moment as Blanca Vas goes through. Blanca Vas now starting to use that power and stamina that we know she's got. And she's on the hunt to try and bring Marian Noble back. 33 seconds. Big climb for these riders now. Anna Kay is now in the search of a medal. So is Katie Klaus. This race, I kind of feel, has got some twists and turns yet. The mud makes it unpredictable. Things happen, riders get tired. It's so muddy now. What is the men's race going to be like this afternoon? Blanca Vas onto the bike, looking for a line. Gets the front wheel safely into that channel. Drops it down. Ruby West goes with her. Anna Kay takes a totally different line on the other side of the track. Anna Kay, who comes from the north of England, northeast of England, has been riding on the European circuit all season. She is a transformed rider since we first saw her. She was talented. Now she is certainly showing that talent shining through as she makes her way now into third place for Great Britain. Ruby West caked in mud. Anna Kay now on the hunt for silver medal position. Blanca Vas trying to get herself as high up that banking as she possibly can. Meanwhile, Marian Noble is still our leader. The advantage 36 seconds to Ruby West. You just see her on the other side of the track there. Has she gone out too hard too early? Or does she just have the stamina to win this title? She still looks full of running. What she's really good at is getting back on the bike quick and then putting the power on as soon as possible. Harriet Honden of Great Britain a little bit further back. Let's run through the top 10 for you then. France lead, Marian Noble. Second place, Anna Kay of Great Britain. Third place, Ruby West of Canada. Fourth place, Blanca Vas, but it's changing all of the time. She's from Hungary. Inga van der Heijden in fifth, the defending champion. Katie Klaus of the USA in sixth place. Manon Bakker in seventh. Cheska Baroni of Italy in eighth. Harriet Honden of Great Britain in ninth. Naomi Rugg in 10th place. This duel between these three riders in second, third and fourth place is really starting to help them because it will keep the momentum going. Inga van der Heijden again decides to run down that section. Marian Noble over the hurdles. Not possible to jump them now. Have to literally run that whole section. How is this going to change the final race of the afternoon, which everyone says is Mathieu van der Poel's to lose? Ruby West, time to suffer a little. Can she just recover? She's ridden such a superb race so far. We're on lap 2 of what is going to be a 4-lap race. Anna Kay just seeing Blanca Vas go away from her a little. Ruby West shoulders the bike. Behind her, Inga van der Heijden has some work to do. 39 seconds now, the advantage for the French rider. Got real momentum, hasn't she? Working that bike so hard. Tyre pressure's low. Trying to get as much traction as possible. Goes to the netting on the left-hand side so that she can just try and use it to pull herself up a little. Klaus of Hungary, been training in Spain ahead of this. She rides, or did ride for the Dolcini team on the road. Behind her, Anna Kay from Gateshead in the north of England. Anna Kay started riding mountain bike, motivated by her dad. She just loves the outdoors. Then she turned around to ride cyclocross. Quickly emerged as a real talent in the national trophy in Great Britain. Decided to ride the World Cups with the elites. Norbert Ribeiro into the pits again. The pit crew have cleaned that bike off. It's onto a nice shiny bike. Looks down at that, checks it over, gets going again. And as you can see, there is no one in the pit straight. Anna Kay getting back on her bike. The diminutive figure of this powerful young British rider. Ruby West now, desperately trying to hold on. She's hurting. A very impressive performance by the Canadian. Klaus just looks very concentrated, coming up to the end of what is the only lap 2. A trudge in the mud this afternoon for these riders. 11:59, 33 seconds slower that lap. 15.75 kilometers an hour. Such is the difficulty of this course now. I think yesterday, when the surface was dry, this course was riding around about the 8-minute mark. Now it's riding around 12 minutes for the women. End of lap number 2 for Anna Kay. I'm just listening because there's a bell being rung in the background, and it was showing 4 laps, but I can't work out whether there's cowbells or what's going to happen. Let's see, the graphics normally tell us. Yeah, lap 3 of 4, there we go. So that bell was just someone ringing a bell in the background. There's lots of bells get rung, but normally they have a cowbell kind of sound. Top 3 riders then, Marian Noble Ribeiro from France, Blanca Vass in 2nd place, Anna Kay in 3rd for Great Britain, Ruby West of Canada in 4th, Manon Bakker and Inge van der Heijden in 5th and 6th for the Netherlands, Katie Klaus of the USA in 7th, Francesca Baroni of Italy in 8th, with Sara Casosola in 9th for Italy, and Harriet Honden of Great Britain in 10th place. Marian Noble Ribeiro is now 36 seconds ahead, so her lead is starting to diminish a little bit under the chase of these 2 riders that have just gone through the camera. Looking out of the window, it's still calm outside, so no major storms have hit. 1:30. They were promised somewhere between 1 and 2 o'clock. Katie Klaus seems to be going forward now. Norbert Ribeiro drops down that drop-off, caked in mud, has decided that she's just going to go out and ride and everyone else can chase. Perfect tactics for a rider who likes to be in the mud. one of those days you've just got to keep all your concentration together. You've just got to try and find any way to take back some time on your opponents. You've got to hope the bike holds out as well. You've got so much mud and grit and everything in the chains and the gears. That's why the pit crews here are critical to the success of these riders. Marian Noble is changing all the time, as you can see. Her pit crew are doing a stunning job. You can see there the mechanic goes sprinting. The jet washers are in the background. They wash the bike off immediately, get it set, get it ready, get it lubricated. You can see the mechanic just running down the back of that pit lane, trying to get that bike there as fast as possible. It's a huge team effort. She wouldn't be able to win this world title if it wasn't for the mechanic as well. See the rain pouring down on this rider. Both the chasers come into the pits as well. Blanca Vas changing on the left-hand side as opposed to the right. Anna Kay, she flicks off her bike. The mechanic's sprinting. You can see him there on the left-hand side, going down to get the jet wash to get Anna's bike all ready. These riders rely so much on their pit teams. They'll have 2 or 3 bikes. Manon Bakker goes into the pits, Ruby West into the pits. Still the leader from France. Thanks for all your messages today, very much appreciated. Paul Bates, I hope you're enjoying riding on the turbo, getting motivated by this cyclocross. Matt Taylor, thanks for your message. Steve Evans, are the riders changing gear or not? Or do they stay in one gear? No, they change gear as much as they possibly can. That's why the mechanics are so critical. Anna Kay desperately trying to get back to the wheel of Katja Blanca Vas of Hungary. These are the 2 young revelations of this season, along with Celine Del Carmen Alvarado, who won the women's elite title yesterday. Andy Swain wants to know what I've done with Simon Burney. Simon is now the head of cyclocross and mountain bike at the UCI, and he's a bit busy this afternoon. Marian Noble, there she goes, continuing with this march through the mud. Blanca Vas. We've never had a Hungarian on the podium either in the under-23 World Championships. Oh, another crash for Manon Bakker. Hits the deck as she goes down that descent. That's the 2nd time she's crashed there. Katie Klaus works her way through. When you look at this course, there's very few areas where you can actually recover at all. There's very few areas where you'd have to take the pressure off the pedals. Let's take a look then at this crash. Manon Bakker onto the drop-off, a bit tentative. As you can see, the weight distribution not right. It's the 2nd time she's crashed on that line. I was lucky enough a few weeks ago to be with Helen Wyman when she was actually helping Manon with some lines on the course around Namur, just explaining to her what line to take, how to get the best out of your performance by working your way through each of the different course corners and lines that you have to take. Anna Kay is dropping back a little bit from the silver medal position, and Katja Blanca Vas is looking good for silver. This is physically so demanding. You've got to be good at running. You've got to have the power on the bike. You've also got to be physically strong. Your core's got to be good. Be able to shoulder these bikes, to run with them. And then technically, you've also got to be good. Anna Kay leans into that little channel. There's our world champion of last year in the orange, Inge van der Heijden. This is not a course that she's enjoyed. She's still there in 5th place. Are the medals out of reach for her? She's around 119 down on the leader. Over the hurdles for the penultimate time. Huge crowd here this afternoon in Dubendorf, which is just outside Zurich. Everyone flying into Zurich Airport are driving this area. And Anna Kay's got a work to do if she wants to get to silver. This is close to the airfield where many of the world leaders flew into Davos a couple of weeks ago to get ready for the climate change summit. We couldn't build the course because Donald Trump had to land his plane here. Norbert Ribeiro onto the run-up. She's only got to do this one more time. Hooks her feet back into the pedals. Immediately gets the weight distribution right as she plunges down that really steep section. It doesn't look that steep, but believe me, it's almost a wall. Thanks for all your messages on Twitter this afternoon. Very much appreciated. Thanks for all the interaction and all the questions. This is our 2nd place rider, Katja Blanca-Vass. Run that bike up, haul it to the top. Anna Kay dropping away a little bit. 4th place is now Katie Klaus of the USA, who is 40 seconds behind. Anna Kay trying to find some sort of way of getting up there a little bit quicker. And back into the pits yet again for the French leader. Well, the French will be loving watching this. Their French cyclocross star is Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. Unfortunately, sitting at home, we didn't get to see her in the elite race yesterday. Pauline won the World Championships in 2015. She's had surgery on the artery in her leg. Had the same surgery the same time last year. It's been a bit of a shame not to see her in cyclocross, but she is on a race against time to get ready for the World Championships of mountain bike and then the Olympic Games on the mountain bike. 1 lap to go for our leader. 35 minutes of racing. This is going to be a long race. Anna Kay working her way past the pits, starting to suffer a little bit. That was a 12-minute, 10-second lap by Marian Noble Ribeiro. 15.53 kilometers an hour. This is our 2nd place rider. What an historic day for Hungary if this rider secures a silver medal. Katja Blanca-Vass across the line with 1 lap to go. Around about 12 minutes of effort now to secure the silver medal. Anna Kay has got a bit of daylight between her and Katie Klaus in 4th place for the United States of America. Looks to be really suffering now. Just trying to get... Oh, she's decided to take the gloves off. Or maybe she's not suffering too badly. There we are. Hardcore Anna Kay. decides that she needs to feel the gears, feel the bike for the final lap. She's got 20 seconds deficit on Katja Blanke-Vas. We look now for the 4th place rider. It's Inge van der Heijden now, who looks to be coming round the corner. Manon Bach has disappeared. There she is in the background. Katie Klaus of the USA going for 4th at the moment. They go past my window. They're absolutely caked in mud. Manon Bach comes through in 6th place now after 2 crashes. Inge van der Heijden with 1 crash. It still means everything, even if you don't get a medal. I was talking to Ellen van Looy earlier, who rode yesterday, and she finished 8th in the women's elite race, and she was absolutely ecstatic with that. She said, some people were saying to me, you only finished 8th. She said, for me, that was a huge result yesterday in the World Championships. I think the women's elite race yesterday, the emotion at the finish just told the story of sport in so many ways. Celine Del Carmen Alvarado and Anna-Marie Verst alongside each other, teammates but adversaries. Celine Del Carmen Alvarado crying her eyes out with the relief and the joy of winning. Anna-Marie Verst sitting in shock, inconsolable in the tent behind the podium. It took them so long to try and get her to recover, because she was so inconsolable having lost. And then that touching moment that many people missed of her just stretching her arm out on the podium, even although she was disconsolate, and just holding the hand of Celine and saying, well done. This race has been brutal. 2nd place at the moment, making her way up the climb for the final time. Katja Blanke-Vas. Behind her, Anna Kay, trying to close in a little bit. Anna Kay now is around about 16 seconds behind. So far in the history of these under-23 championships that only started in 2016, as women's cycling has progressed. Great Britain with 2 golds, the Netherlands with 2 golds. No French riders have been on the podium. This is a big, big moment. Marian Noble Ribeiro almost subconsciously looking to her left, just trying to check that no one's going to come out of the pits. But the answer right now, Marian, is that the next rider's 36 seconds behind. They're a long, long way away. 2nd into the pits now, Katja Blanke-Vas. Jumps off the bike, safely on. Left-hand dismount and remount. And then coming into the pits now, Anna Kay. Great Britain haven't had a medal in these World Championships yet. Oh, the pit crews need to get out of the way. They do keep very close eye. They see these riders all season. And Anna Kay has daylight now between her and the 4th place, which is now around about 40 seconds behind. The next rider coming around the corner should be the defending champion. Meanwhile, this rider is getting set for what is going to be a dream day. Working our way up the next climb. Behind her, the next rider. And Anna Kay now reaches that run up for the final time. Marian Noble Ribeirol rides on the road, finished in the healthy aging tour for juniors. She finished in 8th place overall. She's finished 10th in the junior road championships. Oh, Katja Blanca-Vas skidding. Broadsiding it down there. Did it pretty well in the end, though. Anna Kay reaches the top of the final drop-off of this time. She's taken such a different line every time. So cool and calm down that descent. Everyone else is so careful. Inge van der Heijden, 6th place now, dropping away a little. Katie Klaus for the USA, after that dislocated shoulder, has ridden a superb race. 38 seconds between Anna Kay and the next person, but she's catching Katja Blanca-Vas now in front of her. She can see a silver medal. This rider is starting to close up somehow. She's got herself going, and I think she's really making a move now. This is a big surge by the British rider. She can see the Hungarian just in front of her, who's had a few little technical issues on some of these descents. Maybe she's just got into the red zone. It's so easy. Marian Noble Ribeirol up this rise for the final time. This really hurts area where your legs really feel the sapping of the strength out of them, because you go downhill and uphill so many times. Gets the bike going, the shoulders urging that bike forward. She knows there's not many minutes left. 43 minutes of muddy, tough bike racing. Safely down that next descent. You can see how far back everyone else is. Anna Kay rushing through here. Katja Blanca-Vas in the red, still has daylight. Around about 8 seconds if you actually time it. Blanca-Vas looking good for the silver at this moment in time, unless Anna Kay can close up a little bit more. The final lap of the Under-23 Women's World Championship here in Dubendorf in Switzerland. Yesterday this course was pretty much all rideable. Today it is far from rideable. Thanks to all of you who have messaged in. Marian Noble Ribeirol slipping and sliding up to the next little section, shoulders the bike, big gasp of oxygen. Over the hurdles for the final time. Blanca-Vas has accelerated, having seen that the 3rd place rider was coming up to her. The medals at the moment are going to these 3. France, Hungary, Great Britain. Blanca-Vas has another look around. Seems to have got those legs going again. She had a little bit of a fright when she realised just how close Anna Kay was to her. So far, Great Britain not getting on the podium. Evie Richards rode a superb race in a women's race yesterday. Cameron Mason, sorry, he calls himself Cameron Rooney on Twitter. Cameron Mason rode superbly yesterday. Ben Tullett also, before he snapped his seat pin. Rory Maguire earlier did a superb race in the junior men's, but they haven't managed to get the medals yet. This is now a little bit of a change. Belgium yesterday, no medals. They're the strength in World Cyclo-cross. They got all 3 in the junior men earlier on. That superb win from Thibaut Nice. She's going to be pretty exhausted, but she's going to be jubilant soon. Marian Noble Ribeirol of France clips the feet into the pedals. Katja Blanca-Vas, 2nd place now. Daylight between her and Anna Kay. The gap has opened up to around about 12 seconds big moment for Hungary in cyclocross terms. And so many women are turning to cyclocross and enjoying it. It's a real growth area of world cycling. To that drop off for the final time, the British rider from Gateshead in the northeast, Marian Noble into the pits for the very final time. She'll get a clean bike to take to the finish line. She gives high fives to her pit crew and says thank you. It's a massive team effort. She's shaking her head. She's now 41 seconds ahead. She says thank you to her mechanics. She knows what a massive part they've played in this. They've kept her bikes clean every single lap. They've made sure that she can just concentrate on the job in hand. Over the bridge for the final time, pulls a wheelie, celebrates. She's going to win this under-23 world title with time to sit up and walk the finishing straight. Marian Noble of France zips up the jersey. You can hardly see the French colours. She pulls the tricolour. She wins the world title here in Dubendorf. Great performance, stunning result. Marian Noble wins. What a day for France. What a day for Hungary. Katja Blanca-Vas now comes in to take the silver medal. Blanca-Vas has produced a great result here for Hungary. She looks around. She has been promising this all season. She high-fives the crowd. It's going to be silver medal for the Hungarian. And behind her, a rider who really has emerged this season. She takes the high five. She thoroughly deserves a medal in the World Championships. She led the World Cup so much this season. Anna Kay of Great Britain takes bronze. Helen Wyman congratulates her, says you're such a legend. They're both teammates on the same pro team, Anna Kay and Marian. They congratulate each other. What a day. Brilliant, brilliant performance. Coming in now, a superb performance after injury from Katie Klaus. She's going to finish 4th place in the World Championship. High fives the crowd. 4th for Katie Klaus of the USA. 5th place for Manon Bakker, another member of that team guided by Helen Wyman. And very well done in her defence. Inge van der Heijden, disappointed. World champion last year, 6th place this year. The course just wasn't suited to her. Seventh place for Francesca Baroni of Italy. Wow, Marian Noble. Next rider in, Sara Casasola of Italy. And then very well done to Ruby West of Canada. She was up there in the fight for the medals. She takes 9th place. She gave it everything she had. It's going to take a little bit of time to clean up. Harriet Honden. And coming in now, 10th place for Naomi Rugg of Switzerland.
Harriet Honden aus Großbritannien.
Time to reflect on a brilliant performance today. Here's the highlights of today's race.
Marion, félicitations, quelle perf. Marion, félicitations, quelle performance. Qu'est-ce que ça signifie pour toi le maillot arc-en-ciel?
C'est fou. Je sais pas, c'est rêve de tout cycliste. C'est un truc de malade, quoi. Je crois pas trop ce qui vient de se passer là, mais ouais, je sais pas trop, quoi.
La France, c'est la première fois qu'elle a gagné une médaille dans cette catégorie-là, U23. C'est quand même une journée historique là, pour l'équipe de France.
Ouais, c'est un truc de fou, quoi. C'est ma 3e année de cyclo-cross. Je suis devenue championne de France 3 semaines en avant. J'avais dit que c'était une première étape et à nommer, tout le monde pensait que j'allais faire le championnat du monde élite, mais j'ai dit avant d'être championne du monde élite, il faut être championne du monde espoir. Donc, ouais, je l'ai fait et enfin, on l'a tous fait, quoi. C'est fou.
La pluie a finalement rendu le parcours assez technique. Est-ce que ça a joué dans ta faveur?
Ouais, bah moi j'ai toujours adoré la pluie, le froid, c'est pour ça que je fais du cyclo-cross. Donc heureusement que j'ai pas couru hier. Hier, je suis allée me coucher super tôt et là j'ai entendu la pluie claquer sur ma fenêtre et j'étais trop contente, quoi. Franchement, j'ai dit à toute ma famille, putain, il pleut, c'est énorme et j'adore la pluie, quoi. Et franchement, ouais, c'est mes conditions parfaites, quoi. Et je savais que j'allais adorer avec la pluie, donc.
Félicitations, merci.
Marian Noble reflecting on her victory today. Here's our medalists. Well, as Marion said, It's the dream of every bike rider to win the World Championship. She wins the under-23 women's category in 48 minutes 31 seconds. Katja Blanca-Vass of Hungary, a big day for them in second place, and Anna Kay of Great Britain takes the bronze medal. We'll let you just digest the rest of the results, pick out any riders that you've been waiting to see where they finished. So she can't believe that she's won the world title. She was very pleased to win, of course, the under-23 world title. She adds it to her national title that she won just a couple of weeks ago on the 12th of January. So it's a big end to a big season. The wins are picking up here. Let's hope they don't get as strong as we're expecting. 70km/h winds. The flags are certainly fluttering. The rain has abated a little, but the mud won't disappear. In a few moments then, the presentation of today's under-23 title. We wait then for the presentation of today's race. Just to give you a bit of an update on timings, the men's elite race will be in 30 minutes. So the presentation, then a brief gap, and then the men's elite race to finish the weekend. Just looking out of the window, the winds are picking up, but they're nowhere near the storm force winds that were anticipated. Still riders crossing the line at the moment. First French world champion in the under-23 category. The lap times out there just got slower and slower. The first lap was a 11:26. The final lap was a 12:41, almost, well, over 1 minute slower than the fastest lap. Just waiting for the riders to get ready for this presentation. So Anna Kay of Great Britain adds another medal to the tally in the women's under-23 category. Evie Richards has been on the podium on 3 occasions. Anna Kay makes it 4. There's the soigneur of the Great Britain team, sporting a Ride for Charlie hat in memory of Charlie Craig that we always remember this weekend at the World Championships. And some of the young riders of Great Britain ride for Charlie every time they get here to the World Champs. Marian making her way then to the podium, escorted by Simon Burney.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the official award ceremony. May we have our tune, please?
And now the podium presentation.
Liebe Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer, wir bitten Sie um Ihre Aufmerksamkeit für die Siegerehrungen der Rad-quer-Weltmeisterschaft 2020 in Dubendorf.
Teammates on the same professional team, Anneke and Marian Noble Ribeiro alongside each other with Blanka Vas of Hungary. I think the emotion has now struck her.
Das ist die Siegerehrung der Kategorie U23 Frauen.
During this ceremony, the medals and also the jersey will be presented by Mr. Artur Lopez, member of the management committee of the UCI.
Die Medaillen und das Weltmeistertrikot werden überreicht durch Artur Lopez. Er ist Mitglied des UCI Management Committee.
In third place, winner of the bronze medal representing Great Britain.
Auf dem dritten Platz für Großbritannien, Gewinnerin der Bronzemedaille.
Your applause please for Anna Kay.
Anna Kay takes the bronze medal.
Bronze medal for Anna Kay. Well done, Anna. Great race, great performance. And a round of applause for Anna Kay, please. And then the first ever medal going to Hungary. Silver medal, second place for her, Christian.
Auf dem zweiten Platz und Gewinnerin der Silbermedaille.
Big moment for Hungarian cycling.
A big round of applause for Kata Blanka Vas.
Silver medal.
Well done. First ever Hungarian medal.
Euer Applaus zu Silber, Kata Blanka Vas.
A real result for Hungary and for Katja
The winner of this race,
Blanka
the
Vas.
new world champion, the winner of the gold medal coming from France.
Auf dem ersten Platz Gewinnerin der Goldmedaille und neue Weltmeisterin aus Frankreich.
Marian Noble.
World champion, French champion, world champion. She gets the rainbow bands.
After a dominant race, she took the rainbow jersey presented by Mr. Artur Lopez.
The course suited her perfectly. The minute the rain came, everyone was starting to say, Marian Noble Ribeiro is the rider to watch.
Also, the jersey, we have a gold medal for her.
Die Goldmedaille überreicht von Artur Lopez und liebes Publikum. Euer Applaus, die neue Weltmeisterin Marian Noble Ribeiro.
We have flowers coming up. The
World champion from France.
President of Swiss Cycling.
Die Blumen werden überreicht durch Patrick Hunger, der Co-Präsident von Swiss Cycling.
First of all,
A huge moment for a rider when you pull on the rainbow bands.
Flowers also for our silver medalists, Kata Blanka Vas. And then, last but not least, flowers for our new world champion from France, Marian Noble Ribeiro. Ladies and gentlemen, may we now have your attention,
And now for the
please,
national anthem.
National anthem of France.
Wir bitten Sie um die Aufmerksamkeit für die Nationalhymne Frankreichs.
She gives the national anthem everything.
A big crowd of
She gives the national anthem as much power as she gave that race. Marian Noble Ribeiro. All these riders delighted to be on the podium. The photographer's asking them to go back on the top step first.
And these were the 3 strongest today in Dubendorf, Switzerland. Okay, thanks a lot.
Während hier die besten 323 Frauen noch für die Fotos posieren. 14:30 Uhr der letzte Start. Kategorie.
Well, they've shared a lot this season, these two.
Die Herren natürlich. 14:30 Uhr der letzte Kampf um Gold, Silber und Bronze.
That's what it means to win the world title.
Really impressive performance.
If you could say it with me, that would be awesome.
What?
C'est tout pour moi.
Helen Wyman joking with her, saying in the press conference saying it was all Helen.
Merci. Félicitations.
C'est bon?
Ouais, c'est bon.
Signing the rainbow jersey.
Merci beaucoup. Si tu peux tenir devant le...
Je vous rentre.
Ouais.
Just a recap then of the results of this Women's Under-23 World Championship. Marian Noble Ribeiro there with the gold medal. Katja Blanca Vass in second place. Anna Kay in third. There's our top 20. We're getting ready for the final race of the day. There's the run through the top 30 riders. Let's take a look at the highlights of today's race. France take the world title. The rain continues to fall. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.